I made a list last night of everything that we need to do on the car, and it is long and extensive, and we have a very limited amount of time to get all of that done. Last time we were down here in the garage, I believe that we were finishing up or have finished wiring the differential controller, as well as doing some general tuning and reprogramming of the dash, the Hall Tech, and we still need to program the diff controller itself, but we made some good progress in there and finished all the wiring. One of the things that I need to do that I think would be more fun to help me get back on track working on this car, because I already started with the STI, was peel the hood, because we're going to be repainting or dipping or wrapping this whole car, but we do need to peel this. We need to start by removing the hood pin latches, just 3 screws, and the hood scoop. And then we'll go all the way around the edges of the hood here and peel the edges up using like a microfiber or our hands or something very easy. That'll make it very easy for us to just peel this whole thing off. Hopefully in like 2-3 pieces would be pretty good. Let's give it a shot. So I have a microfiber here now. What I'm going to do is kind of go around the edge. The towel. And just kind of swipe up. And you can see that it pulls the edge of the Plastidip up. No. And saves on your hands. Oh yeah, that's gonna peel so nicely. This is proof Plastidip is awesome. This hood has been abused with this Plastidip for, I think, 8 years. New England winters, track days. Perfect. It's dirty right now, but it's still shiny. It's gonna peel so easily. Just working all the edges. Oh man. Well, who says Plastidip is impossible to peel? Perfect. That was very easy though. So, off camera I took the liberty of marking out a couple spaces on this hood, well, this whole area, and these little areas in the hood where there are some dents that are noticeable that will need to get filled prior to painting. And I just noticed, sorry for the squirrel-like distraction, seems to be one right there too, so we'll have to mark that real quick. But I do want to take some sandpaper and a block and just kind of go over these areas a little bit. Wow, that is just so bad. Not ideal. We'll let some of that harden up, see what kind of mess we got ourselves into. Might as well really go for broke. Get some of the actual body filler and just kind of this whole area, do a little skim coat up in here, up in there, everywhere. Didn't know the hood was this bad, especially this area. It's disappointing, to say the least. So we're gonna work on it, but ugh. Okay. Well, so that seems like too much. We'll see how that goes. Well, off camera, I put a drop cloth over the entire engine bay and it butts up against the fenders just so nothing gets on the engine or any of that stuff. So that's why the hood is propped up a little bit. It doesn't seem to be orbiting all that well. It just seems to be rapido spinning and demolishing everything. What in the heck? Yeah. Well, that's not good. Alright, I think this will be the last. That's already hardening up quite a bit. This will be the last coat, I do believe. Smooth all this down. I don't know what I did over here. I don't know why I ruined that, but. And then I think the hood will be prepped and ready for dip, which is pretty exciting. And then we can spin this bad Larry around. Start working on the hatch. Hello and welcome back. It has been a couple weeks since we were last in the garage. I don't really remember what I last did, but we will give an update on how it is looking now and what we are going to do today. So, as you can see, this hood seems to be repainted and kind of back together. Not all Bondo covered. and down to metal. That's because we finished fixing it. We got this thing to 95%. There's a little bit of a bulge right here. I guess the hood was dented. All of the other dents are fixed. You can't feel them. That's good enough for me. We still need to finish sanding the fenders because these things are pretty deep. All of the clear coat is just peeling off. We just need smooth transitions, just like for wrap. Need smooth transitions for dip so we don't see all of these lines underneath. Also, my Milwaukee orbital sander decided to become a death wheel with a flap disc, and we chunked the paint and clear off in 2 locations straight down to the metal with 400 grit, because that's supposed to happen instantaneously. So we need to fix that. The other side, same deal. There's one little pinhole, little chip, I should say, right there that needs to be fixed. And we need to sand this clear coat. So that's what we're gonna work on. That is not too bad, I'd say. I can't feel any of the lines from the clear except in here. Wonderful. I see it right in there. We'll have to clean that up. Besides that though, she's feeling pretty good. So we'll get this little area and then move on to the other side. Call this one good enough. We'll pop both of them off and coat them with a little primer once we're done sanding them. So what I'm doing right now, since we have finished cleaning up and sanding all of the little dents and imperfections out of the front quarter panels, is removing them from the car so that I can clean up the insides and the sides, put a little primer down on the areas that are bare metal, and then we can mount them back onto the car for the final time to prepare for the paint job coming soon. So I'm gonna keep blasting these panels off. Took the headlights off. We'll have to figure out how to either mask the lenses or remove them. We'll get to that. Nice. Heck yeah. Look at that. Primer. Hit that with some 400. Smooth it out. Put it up right in here. We might hit these things with turbo white. Just get those seams where we might miss when we're painting this on the car. It's not a bad idea, actually. Alrighty. Here comes number 2. Oh. Beautiful. So beautiful. Oh, that was my knees. Okay. Alrighty, here we are. Most of this is already all done. I have a little piece of 400 here that's not wrecked. I am going to just clean up some of the areas where we have the rusty metal primer. And we need to clean up all these areas with all this dirt too. That is an issue. We have to actually make these clean. And then put them back on the car. I'm going to get sanded. Not trying to remove anything, just smooth everything. It doesn't smell good in here, so I call it at that. One quick test though. Oh geez. That's aggressive. May needed to have waited to use primer. That's a lot. Okay. Alrighty. What we have in front of us are the quarter panels off of the wagon as well as the grill inserts. Off camera, I do have to apologize. I sprayed the edges of these with the Turbocan already just to lay down a base. I want to show you guys how absolutely ridiculous this can is and how quickly it did what you see in front of you and how turbo this spray system actually is. It's absolutely hysterical. We're gonna cover the entirety of these fenders in 0.2 seconds. I swear. That's insane. That's crazy. Now that the paint is dry, we're going to throw these things back on the car. The coverage, honestly, isn't great. The Turbocan was an immense amount of fun, but it really did more overspraying than covering what I wanted to cover. If I was going to do this again, I'd probably, in rattle can it, if I was going to do it again and actually rattle can it, I'd probably use the little cans and be a little bit more accurate. Having said that, there are some blemishes on here that are not the Turbocan's fault, like the weird oil mark on this one. This one, you can't really see anymore. Well, that's a little bit there. And lack of complete coverage is my fault for missing. And I kept going when it started sputtering and spattering at the end, so that's my fault. Besides that, I really don't have many complaints about how these came out. They're just so that it looks all one color-ish on the car before we actually paint it, because I just want to see it all kind of one color. I'm rambling. Let me get these back onto the car. You know what? I should really tape up these. What am I saying? Let me tell you what I'm going to do before I walk away halfway through the sentence. I need tape up from the inside the side marker lights, so when I spray the car, we're not just spraying everything into the engine bay through that marker light. Should have done this before I put it on the car, but here we are. Okay, should I put the headlights back on just so that we can see what it looks like? I think we should. Okay. That looks awesome and horrible at the same time. So far, at least. Oh, yeah. You know what? I kind of like it. I think it'll look okay. It's going to be a... Oh. Oh, man. It's going to be a lot of white. And then the black grille. It's all going to be a white bumper. Oof, duh. I don't know. Did I make a miscalculation? We could... I don't know how I feel about these. I don't know how I feel about these headlights now. So we could use the Moret headlights that we had on my other wagon, Shiba. And those are OG Moret, so it would kind of keep that for reals, old school, OG part vibe. So that would work. But I really wanted to use these. We'll see. Next steps here. I'm going to pull some of the crap out of the inside of the car and clean that up, because I think we need to install a seat. And the next big thing that we need to work on is the rear end, which means that we need to pull the car out of the garage and back it in. We're going to be backing it in on that side of the garage where the STI is, because we're going to paint it on that side of the garage so that we can mask it off and still kind of walk through this area. Which means that we need to actually fix the front end of the STI. We have a lot to do. We are rapidly running out of time to get this thing done. So we're gonna get to cranking. Shoot, there's a lot to do.